what's up, YouTube? This is your host with the most, King Gio in the house. I want to say thank you to everybody, to each and every one of you who have subscribed to my channel. And for those who have not subscribed to my channel, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Hit that little bell on the bottom on your right hand side and hit that notification button, and it'll let you know when I, King Gio, have uploaded a video or I'm about to do some form of uploading or an event is coming up. Okay, thank you. And don't forget that I got subscriptions that you can join in for 3 different tiers: $1.99, $2.99, and $4.99. Each has its own perks. All right, so trying to get King Gio that plaque for 2021, right? That YouTube plaque. Well, anyway, I'm gonna start off. You saw my first video about me getting fired from my job at the Hampton Inn in Eden here in North Carolina. I told you that they'll fire me for no justifications, right? Because they cannot fire me unless they give me a warning. Well, last Friday, I tried to look for, I wrote a letter to the general manager, Mr. Anthony Simmons, and he responded back to me. And he sent me a copy as to why I was being let go. And it says that I was being let go because they had told that there were numerous times that I was clocking in remotely, and it was brought to my attention 3 different times. And that they said that with me on April, and they said that with me in June. All right, now mind you, somewhere around I would say April, the then general manager spoke to me and asked me, "Gio, did you come to work last week?" And I'm like, I think it was on a Friday or Saturday. I said, "No, I didn't." He goes, "Oh, no, because they have you clocked in, and that's weird." I'm like, "I didn't come in. I didn't clock in." So I said, "Well, have someone check it out. If you clocked in, have those hours taken away from me. I don't want to get paid for something I didn't work." So they checked it out, and they took away they took away those hours. That was the last I've heard of that. The last, right? So when I got fired a week and a half ago, no one was telling me. No one told me as to why, except she wanted to tell me. I guess I'm assuming she wanted to tell me that day when I was supposed to go to, not supposed to, when she wanted me to go meet her. So the letter that Anthony sent me, they said that on June 15th and June the 3rd or 4th, and then June the 15th, I was told not to clock in remotely or clock out remotely because that's against company policy. Now, mind you, I was never sat down with anybody about remotely clocking in and out. Number one, I never clocked out remotely because I didn't know that you could clock out or clock in remotely. I was clocked in by the computer that they had. Plain and simple. So I was never told. Like I said before, the only one time that I was told was by the then general manager, and we never spoke about it after that. She never wrote me up. There was nothing to write up because anyway. So they wrote to me. They gave me that letter saying that it was an email, but I think I erased it. I was looking for it yesterday, and it said that on 2 different occasions they sat down with me and explained to me that there would be thefts of services, thefts of hourly wages. And I'm like, yeah, but nobody ever sat down with me and told me anything. If that would have been, if you would have said that, I told them, if you would have sat down with me, and that was the case, I would have just signed in by paper, just to avoid this. All you had to do is just get yourself an IT guy and find out why I'm getting clocked in and out. Could be other employees could be suffering the same thing. They didn't tell me that. They didn't go through that. So, but that's as simple as it gets. Get yourself an IT guy. You say, why is it that blah 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 person is getting clocked in when that person, and they'll tell you where the IP address is coming from and where that person's clocking in from. It'll tell you that because that's what tracing is for. But they didn't do none of that. They just decided to say bogus. And plus, the paper that he sent me, where I was told these things, those are papers that I'm supposed to sign, because in the bottom it says signed by the employee. I was never signed that, so you cannot fire me unless I sign a piece of paper. Legally, if I wanted to take this to court, I'd win. I really would win, because you fired me from a job unjustifiably, without any warning, Even if I didn't go in that Friday to talk to you, that just doesn't satisfy you to fire me. Get us said, Giovanni, we're going to suspend you for a week. Come in. I'm going to talk. Suspend you for a week because we be getting these remote. Your clock ins are coming in remotely. We need to find out what's going on. It's going to be a week. If we find out that it was done through you, then we're going to have to terminate you. Simple as that. I was like, I'll be okay, fine, no problem. You're not going to find out because I never did it. Those are the ways you do things, professionalism. Not half-ass. And then come up with a letter saying that you sat down with me and you spoke to me and explained to me. Well, you never explained to me nothing. But guys, I'm 49 years old. I don't need those little kid games. I don't need to remotely go to my phone, to my house phone, and clock in for $10 an hour. That's not my style. I'm not gonna die for $10 an hour. I called in sick before when I was sick for $10 an hour. I've not gone in for $10 an hour. I'm not gonna die. That's $80 a day. I can do $80 a day in DoorDash. I can do $80 a day. I can go to a restaurant and give a seminar, because that's what I sometimes do. I give seminars to restaurants on how the waiters and waitresses are supposed to do their job the correct way. And I make myself $3 to $4 just for a day's work, not even like maybe 2 hours of work. So I don't need to steal $80, right? I don't need that. Plus, like I said, I was never warned. Like I said, if I was warned, I would have done it by paper. And then on Tuesday, when at the beginning of the week that she's supposed to turn in the paperwork, fine, boom. Turn it in, I do it by paper. That's it. And we avoid all this, that you're clocking in, you're clocking out remotely. We avoid all that. But that was never addressed to me. If it would have been addressed to me, then we could have taken it to another level to avoid all this, or until it would have been solved. It's that simple. There are certain things you do. There are certain ways you do certain things. And in any business, before you fire someone, if you're firing them because you think that they're taking something, you better have proof of that. You better have proof. Because what you're essentially doing is you're accusing me of stealing. If I was to go to if I go to another job, or one other job, and I put that word down with them, and they say that they let me go because I was stealing hours of a job, I guarantee you that the Hampton Inn Eden will get sued. Because in no way, shape, or form did they prove that I was doing this remotely. So what does that do is it will prevent me from getting another job. That job will discriminate me and say, well, no, he stole there, so he's gonna steal here. And I will sue the shit out of him. I really would. But I don't do that now because I'm not gonna die for $10 an hour. What hurts me the most is that this is the first time I've been finding a job. And I've had, all my life, what I had was 4 jobs in my 49 years. I stayed long at my jobs. But it is what it is, man. So that's the only disappointing part about it all, is the getting fired. The way I got fired, with no justification. Didn't get a chance to appeal. And I wasn't going to appeal anyway. Not for no $10 an hour anyway. The job was good because the job is customer service. You're in the front desk. You work with people, which I love to work with people. The guests there were great with me. They can tell you can look me up in Yelp, and you will see my name in Yelp several times. That people have given me complimentaries that how good I work. But the management itself didn't recognize how good you work. And you had general manager. That's why I guess assuming she quit. You got too much work. She's a general manager. She does housekeeping. She does front desk when somebody doesn't come in. It's just a hack of for what little do they pay. Whether that general manager that came in was that her job, she wanted to prove a point, I don't know. I don't care. But it's just to show you the lack of professionalism. Because she said I was supposed to go into work. No, I was supposed to go in to talk to her. I wasn't supposed to do anything. If anything, if that was the case, she should have called me up the following and said, listen, Gio, we have a little bit of discrepancy in your clock ins and clock outs. Can you come in so we can talk about it? Sure, no problem. I'll go in. And then you tell me, hey, listen, Giovanni, we're seeing that there's been clock out here, been clock out there. Are you doing this? No. I'm gonna have to write you up. I'm gonna have to write you up because it seems that you're the only one that can do this. You know, blah, blah, blah. Fine, then you write me up. You write me up. That's a warning. You give me a warning that if this continues to be happy, then you're gonna fire me. But they didn't even take the appropriate actions as to letting me go. The appropriate actions. There are certain ways you let people go. There are certain ways that you obviously, but you have to let go immediately without warning, without, you know, it's going to crumple. It's going to put a dent on the company if they don't take actions right there and then. Those things I do understand. But to fire me, without a warning shot like that, no, that's not the way you do things. So, there are certain ways you get fired. If you get put it away, guys, if you get fired on the spot, they have 24 hours between them 24 hours to give you your check. That's the law. If you quit, then you have to wait until payday. But if they fire you on the spot, they got 24 hours to give you your paycheck. They know that. I never claimed it, which I should have, but it didn't make anything anyway. But anyway, so that's the part two. I'm still looking for work. I was thinking that if I don't get work, I'm just gonna. I was thinking about going state to state, just driving around the state for a month or two. Look out the state, cause this, you know, when things like this happen, I get bored. I get depressed. I don't know what depressed is, but what I mean, I just my self-esteem goes down. I'm not depressed. My self-esteem goes down. And I'm like, what the fuck? You know, getting fired for something I didn't do. My self-esteem goes down, and I'm like, might as well just, you know, collect unemployment and go from state to state, visit different states, and then come back in a month or so or 2 months. I don't know, but I do want to go back to work. You know, but the thing is that this is why I get mad. Now I have to start all over at a job. I was already comfortable there, but it is what it is, man. All right, guys, thank you for watching.